Hello, welcome back. Still hot factor 90.3 Nigeria info and her input Harcourt. I'm Dio. 12 minutes gone past 5. Discussions continue. Thanks for staying tuned. And the map will discuss it next. Story cut to the Vanguard newspaper. SERAP to ICC declare Zamfara other student abduction a crime against humanity. A Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has petitioned the International Criminal Court of the need to investigate the growing cases of abduction of students in several parts of northern Nigeria, particularly the recent abduction in Zamfara state. SERAP also urged it to investigate the closure of schools and the persistent failure of Nigerian authorities at both the federal and state levels to end the abduction considered as crime against humanity within the jurisdiction of the ICC. In the petition, dated September 4, 2021, addressed to Mr. Karim A.A. Khan, QC, prosecutor, signed by SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare. The organization urged him to push for those suspected to be responsible and complicit in the commission of those serious crimes to be invited and tried by the ICC. Now, the petition followed a string of abductions and closure of schools in some parts of Nigeria, including the recent closure of schools in Zamfara state after scores of students were abducted by gunmen from a state-run high school in Maradun district. According to SERAP, quote, depriving children their right to education has severe consequences for their ability to access their fundamental rights. The severe and lifelong harms that result from depriving children of the right to education satisfy the gravity of harm threshold under the Rome Statute. What is the Rome Statute and what is considered a crime against humanity? So I did a Google search earlier on and came up with something. Now, the definition, according to the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, Article 7, you have crimes against humanity. 1. For the purpose of this statute, crime against humanity means any of the following acts when committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack directed against any civilian population with knowledge of the attack. A. Murder. B. Extermination. C. Enslavement. D. Deportation or forcible transfer of population. E. Imprisonment or other severe deprivation of physical liberty in violation of fundamental rules of international law. F. Torture. G. Rape, sexual slavery, and forced prostitution, forced pregnancy, and forced sterilization or any other form of sexual violence of comparable gravity. H. Persecution against any identifiable group or collectivity on political, racial, national, ethnic, cultural, religious, gender as defined in paragraph 3. Other grounds that are universally recognized as impermissible under international law in connection with any act referred to in this paragraph or any crime within the jurisdiction of the court. I. Enforced disappearance of persons. J. The crime of apartheid. And K. Other inhumane act of a similar character intentionally causing great suffering or serious injury to body or to mental or physical health. Now, 2. For the purpose of paragraph 1, A. Attack directed against any civilian population means a course of conduct involving the multiple commission of acts referred to in paragraph 1 against any civilian population pursuant to or in furtherance of a state or organizational policy to commit such attack. Unfortunately, I was built to have this conversation with SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare. Unfortunately, that I've received confirmation that would not be happening. But I'd like to get your take on SERAP's position based on the definition I read out just a while ago, that the ICC should declare what's happening in Zamfara and other student abduction as a crime against humanity. So based on this definition, I'd like to get your take. Should these bandits be declared as committing crimes against humanity? And based on the definitions, can you identify other crimes against humanity taking place in Nigeria as well? Let's talk about this for a bit. My lines are open: 0817-923-0002 or 0003 or 0007. A reminder, we're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, WhatsApp on 0809-030-6416. A quick break and I'll return shortly. Conversation will continue. Please stay with us.
A clean Clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Are you running late and can't make it down to our Rumorsi office to book your commercials? Don't worry, because you can take advantage of our marketing office inside Port Harcourt to book your commercials. It is located at Shop 9 Mediatrix of All Graces Plaza, opposite FIRS Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. You can also call our sales rep on 0817-001-8162. That's 0817-001-8162.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me. I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it. You're trying to insinuate all these people looting Nigeria's money?
This is Nigeria Info, in the heart of Nigeria. 92.3. We are Nigeria Info.
Our freedom depends on our proactive responsibilities.
Let's talk, act, and be about development.
With one voice, our potential is realized. This is your number one news, talk, and sports radio station. 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am listening.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts with Dayo.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. Still Hard Facts to 91.3 Nigeria Info and Port Harcourt. I'm Dayo. The matter continues, remains the same for this hour. SERAP to ICC declare Zamfara other student abduction a crime against humanity. And I did say I was able to speak with, hoping to have a conversation with SERAP's Deputy Director on the matter, Kolawole Oluwadare. Unfortunately, that conversation would be happening. But I'm currently joined via phone right now by a lawyer, Barrister Festus Ogoche. He's joined me via phone for this conversation. Barrister Ogoche, good evening to you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Dayo. Thanks a lot.
And thank you very much for joining me at this time as well. So, just a while ago, before the call to you, I did some searching online, came across a definition of a crime against humanity according to the United Nations, which is under the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. I did read that out in detail a while ago. And it goes, I read just the first part now. For the purpose of this statute, crime against humanity means any of the following acts when committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack directed against any civilian population with knowledge of the attack, and it lists murder, extermination, enslavement, deportation or forcible transfers, population imprisonment, severe deprivation, torture, rape, sexual slavery, enforced prostitution, talks about persecution, enforced disappearance, apartheid, other inhumane acts. But critically, it describes it as any of these acts when committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack directed against any civilian population with knowledge of the attack. What exactly does all of this mean?
Well, if you want to construe crimes against humanity, you look at it specifically from the point of view of the damnation of the crime and its implications on the human population. So the nature of the population is also a consideration in its definition, because it must be civilian population, and it must be something that affects it to the fundamental roots of livelihood, of existence, of threats to their continued existence as human beings, or either their total extermination. You look at it from the point of view of pogroms, or the point of view of even displacement, while they are still alive and all that. There are crimes that shock humanity, that the average person will be shocked to hear that this thing has been perpetrated. And that's the whole essence of the International Criminal Court, which is enunciated under the Rome Statute, of which Nigeria is signatory, and of which we are bound by its principles.
Now, that said, can one then classify the actions or activities of these so-called bandits in predominantly the northern part of the country who are carrying out all kinds of heinous crime, including mass abductions of persons, including students? Does it fall under the classification of a crime against humanity as SERAP is advocating?
Exactly. I don't think there's a better definition or a better scenario that fits into crime against humanity than these abductions from schools or school children, innocent children, and sometimes some of them are even killed and exterminated. And that's essentially the reason for the establishment of the International Criminal Court, and in spite of which these activities are still gaining ground all over, as though nothing is happening. My only inhibition is the fact that once the International Criminal Court, through its chief prosecutor, Fatu Bensouda, had indicated that they will be coming to Nigeria to do these investigations, and the thing just died like nothing ever happened. And this could be a source of disappointment. And so, if the International Criminal Court had acted with promptness right from the onset, when they indicated interest in coming to Nigeria last year, some of these activities also have been abated, because they also see that the government is not doing much to abate these incidents, except maybe a couple of days ago that the military got into some specific engagements to rid the area of criminals, particularly bandits. I'd like to cover all of them with the word terrorists, because I don't see any subdivision in the activities in terms of their brutality and inhumane disposition to human beings, particularly those ones that are vulnerable and helpless.
I would like to ask you next, but I will be hopefully I'll get a response for you when we return from a commercial break now. But the question is this: now, if we refer to the actions or activities of these so-called bandits, well, which I believe you rightly referred to as terrorists, as a crime against humanity, how are their actions different from the actions of other criminal elements across the country carrying out similar acts? Because the kidnapping happens elsewhere. We have kidnapping here in the Niger Delta region, in the south-south, in the southeast, and the southwest. We have murder, we have torture, we have kidnap for ransom. Other criminal activities, we have it taking place as well. So how are the actions of the bandits different from other criminal elements, such that theirs will be described as a crime against humanity as against the actions of other criminal elements? Will you respond to that when we return from the break?
All right, okay.
Please stick around, stay with us. Hans Frank returns shortly.
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your turn. Let's talk.
Headline News, Nigeria Info on
92.3.
Headline News.
Hello, thanks for staying tuned. Here are the headlines. Governor Wike meets with business owners in Rivers State over VAT collection. Federal Inland Revenue Service writes National Assembly seeking inclusion of VAT collection in exclusive legislative list. Rivers State House of Assembly passes Rivers State Withholding Tax Bill 2021 into law. Rivers State government declares 3 people wanted for alleged harassment of contractors, particularly Julius Berger Nigeria PLC. Growth flyover construction workers continue protest in Port Harcourt. And River State Judiciary pardons 160 inmates from Port Harcourt Maximum Correctional Services. Scores of pensioners in River State protest non-payment of gratuities. Federal government approves national policy on 5G networks for Nigeria's digital economy. And a foreign team, dozens of women protest formation of all-male interim Taliban government to rule Afghanistan. And France to open a historical trial over Paris attacks. In business, meat butchers in Port Harcourt say cost of cow increased following demolition of a Guinea slaughter market. In entertainment, leaked audio of Nollywood actress Annie Idibia whipping reveals her husband, Two-Face, has fled his matrimonial home to America. And in sports, Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa gifts teammates 5 million naira for their 2-1 win against Cape Verde in 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifier. And those are the headlines. Details at 6 p.m. Contact our newsroom on 0818 90017. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Thanks for listening. I'm Adedayo Elusakin. Good evening.
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your turn. Let's talk.
We give the facts.
News entirely.
We give the evidence. Just to keep you informed.
News, weather.
I get my information top of the hour every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
News, 6 a.m.
Your Excellency, I have been asked to summon you to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That position has always been very clear. The forthcoming election is sensitive and decisive.
News, 12 noon.
Abandoned projects by the former administration, it's a problem. I have spoken with my people. We all agree that from today there shall be no vandalization.
News, 6 p.m.
We don't sell assets to contribute. If there is need for it to sell assets, to invest, to use to create wealth.
Tune in to our major bulletins at 6 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. 6 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. And our updates every hour on the hour on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your turn. Let's talk.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dion.
Welcome back. 27 minutes ago before 6 p.m. The major news is up at 6. Before then, discussion still continue with my guest, Barrister Festus Ugoche, who's joined me via the phone. Barrister, welcome once again.
Thank you very much once again.
And the matter caught to the Vanguard, SERAP to ICC declares Zamfara other students' abduction a crime against humanity. Now, Barrister, before the break, I asked the question. Yes, some of the heinous crimes that the bandits or so-called bandits are committing, especially in the northern part of the country, no longer form news to us. However, also not news is the fact that some of these acts or similar acts take place by other criminal elements in other parts of the country as well. So what makes the actions of the bandits terrorists fall under the crime against humanity classification and the other criminal elements do not?
I don't think that classification is very necessary at this point. First of all, I commend SERAP for being very proactive on these issues, and that is what is expected of the legal community. And we very much hope that the the senior lawyers in this country will take up the challenge to take these matters to the hills and ensure that we have a stable and balanced society with which people can operate. It's not just waiting for elections and election petitions to rake in millions when the society is going down. The anchor upon which the court has created is for the observation that the most serious crimes of concern to the international community as a whole must not go unpunished, and there must be effective prosecution of those crimes. And there's really no distinction between all the issues of crime that's going on and the banditry, which I think is terrorism, Boko Haram and all that. But for kidnapping, it cannot give it the same dimension as Boko Haram and the so-called banditry and Fulani herdsmen, invasions and destructions, deaths and killings and rapes. The crux of the matter is that there is no clear-cut definition of matters that will come under this category. What is important is how the average man on the street will construe it in terms of its dimension, in terms of its implications, whether it's something that's capable of shocking the international community. The activities of the herdsmen, they also qualify very well, and even displacement, when people are displaced and deported, or there's a forcible transfer of the population from one place to the other, from their homes, also constitute that act. So there's no clear-cut distinction. I think it's in terms of degrees and dimension, they all have the same coloration, because it is the same activity, criminal activity that's going on in the northeast, in the north central, and all that's still trickling down to this place, and it's affecting the population. There's also a persecution of any identifiable group or a collectivity of groups on grounds of political prejudice, racial, or ethnic, cultural, and religious. And all these things are already contained in the activities that are making this country totally and completely placed on the side of how do I put it, on the side of lawlessness, terror, and instability.
Took a few contributions right now via Facebook. Joseph Ear Jr. goes, it's quite clear the crimes of abduction and killing being committed by terrorists and being tolerated by the authorities, otherwise they would not have named them bandits. A bandit is typically a robber, but unfortunately the government is toying with them, and I've always given them conducive atmosphere. Ned argument goes, absolutely, the ugly trend of abducting students and the general madness going on in the northeast is a crime against humanity. And the most devastating part is the incapable nature of the federal government. We are helpless in this country, and the international communities are not doing anything. If I may ask, what about the much talked about fighter jets? What's really going on? Is there anything we don't know that they know about what's going on? God help us. So Doge Prophet goes, still clear that these people that are called bandits are being sponsored by some politicians. Chinweke Achubu goes, all I know is every crime must be punished, whether you're a politician, president, governor, and rubber bandit, or whoever you are. That's once again from Chiweke Christopher from Owerri. But once again, in the definition that I read out just a while ago, from the Rome Statute, it talks about acts when committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack directed against the civilian population. Can the actions of these bandits slash terrorists be referred to as a systematic attack? And might that differ then somewhat from other maybe random criminals?
Yes, it does make them different. And then apart from that, the widespread, that's the word I was looking for actually in terms of the dimension and systematic attack. But the categories upon which this court can exercise jurisdiction, that is the International Criminal Court, or the Rome Statute can be invoked as very legion in genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, crimes of aggression. And if you go further, there's torture, there's rape, sexual slavery, and forced prostitution, forced pregnancy, all that persecution against an identifiable group. But then if you look at it purely from the point of view of the so-called bandits, which I prefer to call in the mold that of the former Commonwealth Secretary General, Emeka Anyoko, who said they are terrorists. And I agree with him. I think that labeling of bandits on them gives it a more elegant phrase I mean, they are terrorists. That's exactly what they are doing. Their activities are quite defined, and I don't think it will require anybody, any defense on the part of anybody or any individual or group of individuals to get them out of that particular defined area. Not only the bandits, the headsmen themselves, you know, those that are perpetrating all manner of crime and displacement of persons and how do I put it? Systematic directed attacks on the civilian population, even in the southeast, even in the southwest. They all come within the umbrella of these crimes that are defined under the Rome Statute. The only problem, like I told you earlier, is that the International Criminal Court had indicated earlier that it was coming to Nigeria. And within 2 weeks of this announcement, all these things are dated somewhat. But since then, we've not heard anything from them, I begin to wonder. And SERAP is now saying, well, these areas come within the hemisphere of crimes against humanity. Would they write to the International Criminal Court and we get a response? And by the way, in Nigeria was there as the president up in February this year. An Igbo man for that matter. So it puts me off somewhat that the international community is totally averse of the lukewarm to these incidents that are happening that are capable of disrupting the national life. Not just the national life, can lead to the implosion of this country. And when that implosion occurs, going by the population of Nigeria, I don't think the United Nations can handle the humanitarian problems that will ensue.
But first, if we could answer this response yes or no, because we have to wrap it up shortly. Now, without the cooperation of the Nigerian government, can the ICC go ahead to make these classifications and investigate and possibly prosecute individuals if the Nigerian government does not see things the same way?
Yes. Of course, the ICC doesn't have to work in tandem with the government of the government of the state that's responsible for it, or the government where it is occurring. It's their individual initiative. It's at their discretion. They don't have to get the permission of government to come in to conduct investigations or to prosecute.
And that means we have to wrap up the conversation. Many thanks for being a part of it, especially my guest, Barrister Festus Oguche. Many thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you, Adedayo Elusakin. Thanks a lot.
Well, I'll take a break right now. Got a commercial coming up, and after that, top of the hour, we've got the major news at 6 p.m. If you've missed out on contributing to any matter discussed on the show today, including my side comment, I'll take your thoughts during the open season segment. Do please stay with us.